I'm making an easy, creamy, and delicious chickpea cream today. Join me and let's start. First, soak the chickpeas for at least 10 to 12 hours before cooking. I've already done this, so now I'll drain and rinse them. After rinsing and draining the chickpeas, I chop some garlic, slice some onion, cut the celery, cut the carrot, and at this point I can move over to the stove. Now in a pan I add some extra virgin olive oil, then I put in all the vegetables I chopped earlier and let them saute for a few minutes. At this point, I add the chickpeas, then the bay leaf and rosemary, the tomato puree, salt and pepper. Then I add the water, and after that I give it a good stir. I cover it, and with the bellows lid, I let it cook for 2 hours. Very good. When the chickpeas are almost ready, I cut some bread and toast it. The chickpeas are cooked. Now I take a couple of ladles and transfer them into the mini blender cup. Then I blend them and add the cream I get to the other chickpeas. I give it a good stir and leave it uncovered. I let it cook for another 10 minutes on high heat so it dries out a bit. And here we are. Look at this beautiful soup. Now a drizzle of oil, and look at this. What a sight. Let's see. Mamma mia. Today I'm making a super easy, quick, and very tasty lentil soup with you. Make it with me. Let's get started. I chop a little bit of garlic, cut a bit of onion, and move over to the stove. In a nice pot, I add some extra virgin olive oil, then add the garlic and onions, let them saute for a bit. Then I add the lentils, pour in the tomato puree, and add a couple of bay leaves. I add the turmeric. I cover it with water, preferably hot, and give it a good stir. Then I cover it and cook for 30 to 35 minutes. As you may have noticed, I didn't add salt. I'll add it at the end, otherwise the lentils will stay hard. You probably already knew that. I'll add it when the lentils are almost done. I cut the bread into pieces, put the pieces in a small pan, add a bit of extra virgin olive oil, mix, put it on the stove, and toast them. Okay, the croutons are ready. Now I turn off the heat, add a bit of oregano, give it a stir, and at this point the lentils are cooked, so I add the salt, a bit of pepper. I give it one last stir and plate it. Now a drizzle of oil and a bit more oregano, and all that's left is to taste it with you. Enjoy. Oh my. Today I'm making a cannellini bean soup with you. Really simple and very flavorful. First of all, using dried beans. You should soak them at least the night before in water at room temperature. I've already done that, so now I'm going to drain and rinse them. After draining and rinsing the beans, I cut some celery, chop a clove of garlic, or put it in whole. If you don't want to eat it, just put it in whole and remove it later. A little bit of parsley. In a pan, I put extra virgin olive oil, a sprig of parsley, the celery, the garlic, and the parsley that I chopped earlier. Let it saute briefly. Perfect. Now I add the beans, the sage, the bay leaf, add the water, then adjust the salt, give it a quick stir, then cover it with the lid and let it cook for at least an hour and a half. Now I take a nice piece of rustic bread, cut a few slices, and since the beans are almost ready, I toast them. After toasting the slices, rub them with a halved garlic clove and drizzle with oil. Now that the beans are ready, I'll blend them a bit. Then I turn it off. Here it is. I give it a stir, cover it, and let it rest for about 10 minutes. At least here it is. Look how beautiful. So let's take a look. Oh my goodness.